Tak Madame Lorelai zdrhla po tom, co pohleděla Gabrielovi do jeho osudových řádků. No a protože my víme, že se dneska koná přednáška na téma africké kmeny na Univerzitě Tulanově, tak se tam pojedeme podívat. A uvidíme, co se tam dozvíme. Wow. No, přednáška začala. Profesor Hartridge ji vede.
What is known in the States as voodoo is actually an amalgamation of African religious systems, voodoo, and European religions, primarily Catholicism. All of these subcults of African voodoo have certain things in common. The most important is the worship of a pantheon of spirits instead of the single deity that the Christian and Muslim systems have. Some of these spirits are elementals. Some relate to specific tasks or places. Some represent important tribal leaders who have died. This spirit worship is what makes voodoo so easily adaptable. With all these spirits, it's no problem to add a few more. Say, for example, the Virgin Mary. At the height of tribal Africa, warfare was common. One tribe would conquer another, and the Loa, important in the conqueror's tribal system, would be adopted readily into the conquered tribe's Loa pantheon. In this way, many of the voodoo cults spread and mingled throughout tribal Africa, enriching the belief system and causing innumerable offshoots. The basis for the voodoo religion seems to be as old as man himself. It has much in common with many early pagan practices. Animal totems, sympathetic magic, elemental spirits in the trees, the heavens, the bodies of the sick. Africa is believed by many to be the cradle of the human race. Some of the voodoo Loa may be as old as the Garden of Eden itself. We still can't explain some of the real power of these primal religions. And note, I said primal, not primitive. There are African Bokors who baffle our scientists with their supernatural powers. Now, let's discuss the elements of voodoo.
Fascinating guy.
Voodoo, the spirits are called the Loa. During a voodoo ceremony, celebrants are possessed by the Loa. This is called being ridden. The human worshipper is seen as a horse, and the Loa as the divine horseman. A person being ridden by a Loa takes on the characteristics of that spirit and becomes, in effect, merely a vessel for the more powerful entity. Some of the older original Africa Loa include Dambala, the great serpent god, Ezuli,
To jméno jsme slyšeli v tom grafickém románu na začátku, kdy ho provolávali uctívači voodoo kultu. Myslím, že sama Tetela to tam zmiňovala.
Tribe-specific Loa can have as much or more power as the more widely worshipped Loa. For instance, a particular tribe might revere highly the Loa of an ancestor who was a legendary hunter or politician. Voodoo temples are called houndfors. Their priests, Houngan or Bokors, their priestesses, Mama Loa. In a voodoo houndfor, there's a ritual circle marked by a center pole called a Hoto-Metan. During ritual conclaves, initiates dance
taky nějaký obrazec.
and a Mama Loa or head priestess. The use of totems or animal masks and markings was not uncommon in the original African ceremonies. Now, though, all but the oldest sects have abandoned this practice. Ritual objects used during the conclaves included the ritual gourd, or asan, the ritual knife, or kubasa,
That knife gives me the chills.
the ritual whip, or fouetcache, and the ritual coffin, or seke madule. These items are often optional. called for by the Mama Loa for specific magical rituals. The Mama Loa is the most powerful figure in any voodoo sect. Voodoo is a truly matriarchal system. Even the Bokor knows his power is limited. The Mama Loa is the supreme woman.
Mama Loa.
She comes out of her house at night. She's many things. She tries to get butterflies, and at night again she sees things, including fireflies.
A Gabriel vytuch. Hehe.
Firelight. Gabriel? What? Can't see. Gabriel, get in. Can't. It's too small for me. You must get in, Gabriel. It's not mine. Too small. Hide, Gabriel. Hide.
Taký hlas vyzývá Gabriela, aby se schoval do rakve.
Let me out. Help!
Young man, the lecture is over.
Oh my god. Sorry.
Trapas. Tak Gabriel se probudil po přednášce. Probudili jsme se po přednášce a jdem pokyt s profesorem Hertridgem. Asi se na nás bude zlobit, že jsme mu tam sabotovali chrápáním celou jeho přednášku.
Are you a student?
No. My name is Knight. Gabriel Knight.
Well, you've already interrupted and slept through my lecture, Mr. Knight. I hope you have something worthwhile to do here. If you figure it out, let me know.
Tak jdeme z tématu na téma. Voodoo.
What can you tell me about voodoo?
You already sat through my lecture on the subject, Mr. Knight. Perhaps next time you could stay awake and learn something.
Takže pan profesor je na nás podrážděný, že jsme mu tam spali a nechce nám říct nic moc o voodoo. Tak voodoo vraždy.
What do you know about the voodoo murders?
I've read about them in the papers. I must admit to some interest. But according to the newspapers, the voodoo aspect is faked, so I haven't really pursued it. You know how Americans, especially Hollywood, treat voodoo. I'm sure there are many so-called practitioners out there that have no idea what they're doing or the power they're playing with.
Takže profesora zaujaly vraždy, ale podle zpráv to vypadá, že ty voodoo prvky byly nějaké padělky a profesor tomu věří, takže tomu nepřikládá moc váhu, nějaký vyšší rozměr těm vraždám, prostě vraždy nějakých magorů. Tak New Orleans.
What can you tell me about New Orleans?
I find it interesting to see the occasional fragment of voodoo practices in the everyday culture of New Orleans.
Takže přijde mu velice krásný, fascinující, že může žít v takovém městě, kde vidí kolem sebe ty voodoo obdivovatele. Ještě dáme New Orleans.
What else can you tell me about New Orleans?
The Catholic Church has always dominated in New Orleans, and its imagery in turn has dominated New Orleans voodoo.
Takže katolická církev se tady mísí s voodoo kulty. Ještě něco?
What else can you tell me about New Orleans?
If there's more you wish to know, perhaps you should read my books.
A ve finále nás odkázal na svoje knížky, kterou nám asi žádnou zadarmo nedá. Tak podíváme se zeptáme se na něco o hadech, protože hadi jsou, zdá se, provázaní s tím, co se tady v tomto městě děje za poslední dobu za vraždy.
Do you know anything about snakes?
I'm not a zoologist, Mr. Knight, but I know all I care to about reptiles.
No, konečně se třeba dozvíme, co znamená ta věta.
Do you know what Capri Sanko means?
Cabri Sancour? Yes, I do. It's a Haitian term, I believe. It's French and literally translates as goat without horns.
Koza bez rohu to
Is
znamená.
it a female goat?
No, as in a human sacrifice. Sacrifices in voodoo are usually of the animal variety. Chickens, bulls, goats. If the gods demand a goat without horns, it means a human being.
Pokud bohové požadují kozu bez rohu, myslej tím lidskou oběť. Dobře, dobře. Maria Luaua, to znamená paní šéfka kultu voodoo, dřívější.
Do you know anything about Marie Laveau?
While I find the colloquial bastardizations of voodoo somewhat interesting, from a sheerly intellectual point of view, there's not a lot of relation between people like Laveau and true voodoo practices.
Zapeklité. Zvířecí masky.
Do you know anything about animal masks?
As I said in my lecture, which I assume you actually listened to, is that animal masks, totems, are used extensively in most African voodoo religions.
Takže zvířecí masky jsou používány u afrických voodoo rituálů. Veve, to nás může zajímat.
Do you know anything about veves?
If you'd taken notes during my lecture, you wouldn't have to ask.
Aha. Dambala, to je to jméno. To je to jméno z toho grafického románu, kdy to tam provolávali ti uctívači voodoo a ti praktikanti voodoo.
Tell me about Dambala.
Dambala is one of the major Rada Loa, also known as Dambala Wado. He is an ancient Dahomean ranger,
Dahomejský bůh deště.
often represented as a large boa constrictor. Dambala is the most powerful and most violent of the Rada Loa. The Rada Loa are typically benevolent, as opposed, say, to the Patro Loa. He is still worshipped heavily in Haiti. And when
Stále
voodoo
uctíván
first
na
started in New
Haiti.
Orleans, the early conclaves were reportedly based on the worship of the great zombie, the great serpent Dambala.
Hadovi. Takže má to něco společného s hady.
Tell me more about Dambala.
I have extensive courses in the Loa running next semester. Perhaps you should take one of those, Mr. Knight.
Ogun Badagris taky na to jméno něco říká z toho grafického románu. Už si to přesně nepamatuju, vím, že to tam zaznělo.
Tell me about Ogun Badagry.
Ogun Badagry is one of the Patroloa. The Patroloa are much more violent than the Radaloa. Some people believe the Patroloa originated in Haiti, but I have found some evidence that the Patroloa were African as well, though worshipped only by a small voodoo tribe, and a very bloody one.
Ještě.
Tell me more about Ogun Badagry.
He is a chief nasty.
Vůdce zla,
He is the spirit of war and destruction.
duch války a zkázy. Lidské oběti.
Tell me more about human sacrifice.
It's very rare. Most voodoo practices do not include human sacrifice as a matter of record, but it is theoretically possible, if that's what the gods demand. For example, one of the chants I had translated for me from a Haitian ritual went like this. Mistress Ezuli, come and aid us. If a cock is demanded, we will give it. If a bull will suffice, behold it. But if a goat without horns is required for sacrifice, oh, where will we find one? Ezuli is the gentlest of Loa, so they call on her for mercy. But I have seen grown and powerful Houngan tremble before possession by one of the more violent Loa, such as Papa Nebo. Clearly, they are afraid that something of the sort will be ordered, or that Loa will simply take it for themselves.
Jo, začíná se to ztrácet. Lidské oběti ještě.
Tell me more about human sacrifice.
I wouldn't dwell on it. Most voodoo sects probably haven't seen a human sacrifice for several generations.
Tak s lidskými obětmi jsme se dlouho nesetkali s voodoo praktikantami, ale teďka se poslední dobou se tady děje něco špatného, ale kdo ví, jestli zatím fakt stojí voodoo sekta. O sobě.
Tell me about yourself.
All right, Mr. Knight. I'm 35, a fully tenured professor at this university, as well as a fellow at Cambridge. My doctorate was obtained at Syracuse. Yes, Syracuse, in religious studies. I'm an agnostic, but I find human belief systems fascinating. I specialize in African religions because I grew up there. My father was a Protestant missionary. And I am heterosexual, when I practice sex at all, which isn't very often. Any other questions?
Je vidět, že ta hra je staršího data, ten originál, že tam ještě hráli roli heterosexuálové. Tak zkusíme dát ještě o sobě.
I'd really like to know more about you.
There have been several articles written about me, Mr. Knight, as well as blurbs on my book jackets. If you want a biography, read.
Jen tak si popovídat.
Your lecture was terrific.
Oh, you think so? You were snoring so loud, I didn't think you'd heard it.
You must travel a lot.
Yes, to Africa mainly.
I'm very interested in voodoo myself right now.
How nice for you.
Takže týpek, pan profesor jezdí často do Afriky. Proč asi? Protože tam právě může získávat nové poznatky o svých výzkumech. No a my tady máme ještě jeden zajímavý úkol. My mu můžeme dát tady nahlédnout na naše zrekonstruované VV. Takže pane profesore, tady mám zajímavou věc, takže se ještě jednou podívám, jak to vypadá. Jako nám to nic neřekne, prostě takový jakýsi geometrický útvary, ale ukážeme to jemu.
Can you tell me anything about this?
Wow. Interesting. Very interesting.
No to bych řekl.
Mind if I copy this?
Be my guest.
Great. I'll be right back.
Myslím, že už jsme pro ně zajímavější.
Here you go. You know, this is a fascinating vete. You must tell me all about its origin.
Actually, I was hoping you'd tell me. Can you figure out anything about it from the symbols?
Well, some. That's why I wanted a copy. I want to research the design myself.
Have you heard of the voodoo murders?
No, you're kidding. Really? Then the voodoo is authentic. The newspapers are wrong. Boy,
To se
are
teda
they
mýlí.
wrong.
You think this Veve is authentic?
Authentic? Mr. Knight, that's like asking if the Mona Lisa is a painting. Tell you what, I'll look into these symbols myself and see what I can learn about the sect that made this. I'll give you a call when I have more information. You are associated with the police, aren't you?
Absolutely. But I'm undercover. You can contact me at St. George's Bookshop in the quarter.
All right. Now, I'd like to get started on this, if you don't mind.
Tak a my mu tady ještě můžeme dát fotku z vraždy.
Is there anything you can tell me about the voodoo aspects of this photograph?
This is a serious voodoo ritual. Nasty stuff.
In what way?
Let's see. I can't make out much detail from this photograph, except for the corpse, of course, but the wound, the face, and what little I can see of the ritual paraphernalia, it reminds me of certain black voodoo practices. Very rare. I've never witnessed them myself, you understand.
Really? Interesting. Thanks.
Vůdunské praktiky. No, dozvěděli jsme se zajímavé věci, teda že vůdunský kulty a voodoo kulty je něco teda trošku jiného. Vůdunský jsou ty původní africký, voodoo jsou spojený s katolickými zvyky v západních zemích. Ale pořád tak nějak víme teda, že voodoo praktiky mají svůj původ v Africe. Ale už jsou říznutý teda západními zvyky a tradicemi. Tak, ještě to tady prohlídneme. To je dobře. Ale můžeme kliknout na plátno. Uniková značka. Výborně. Reproduktor, počkej, ještě přednáška vyslal.
Gabriel's in one of the lecture halls at Tulane University.
Ano, reproduktor.
There's a PA speaker on the wall.
Hartrigová kancelář, to je tady pan profesor. No a víceméně jsme se tak nějak projeli. Tak jo, jdem pryč. See you later, alligator. Viděli jsme dost, zjistili jsme dost a půjdeme zpátky do francouzské čtvrti. Tentokrát půjdeme do katedrály svatého Ludvíka. Neboli katedrála Saint-Louis. Tak, jsme v katedrále, parádní, na místě. No, můžeme to tady zase trošku pročekovat, oltář. Vyšší stupínek, oltář, 2 stojany a prostor pro sbor. Andělíček. Ano, příspěvky jsou důležité pro dnešní dobu.
Gabriel might need the goodwill, but he can't afford to make a donation right now.
No, moc toho nemáme, taky kdybychom měli dát něco z těchto darů, nevím, jestli by se to panu faráři líbilo. Cihla, fotka z vraždy. Tak, podíváme se na zpovědnici.
Curtain confessionals are a subtle, old-fashioned presence on the left of the nave.
Povedeme se podívat ještě tady na vlajky.
Flags of the world are displayed from the upper story. A promotion of universal harmony, no doubt.
Lavice.
Rows of pews line each side of the nave's aisle.
A jdeme do zpovědnice.
Someone is in that confessional. Gabriel will have to wait.
A jsme do druhé. Jo, to už by šlo. Tak, poutík.
There's a small shelf under the meshed window.
Klekátko. Jo, tady toho můžeme udělat. Podíváme se.
Padded bench provides a soft place for supplicating knees.
May I help you, my child?
O požehnání.
Could you give me a blessing?
Do you feel the need for a blessing?
You wouldn't believe me if I told you.
All right, if it will comfort you.
The priest blesses Gabriel through the confessional window.
Peace be with you, son.
Thank you, Father.
Is there anything else?
Zatím asi ne. Potom si tam ještě skočíme, když tak.
As you wish. Please feel free to stay and commune with God.
Ale dívej. Díra pro suku.
There's a knothole about the size of a quarter in the wood paneling on that wall.
Dá se s tím něco dělat.
The knothole doesn't seem to operate that way.
Tak jo, ještě zkusíme poslední, co tady bylo. Ruka.
The knothole is part of the paneling.
No nic, klekneme si a jdem se vyspovídat.
May I help you, my child?
Zpověď.
I'd like to make a confession.
All right, if it'll make you feel better.
Nečisté myšlenky.
I've had impure thoughts about a woman I met.
Impure thoughts? You mean thoughts of sexual relations?
You could say that, but worse than what you mean.
Worse? You mean extreme sexual relations?
Well, not involving animals or anything.
Oh, well. Perhaps we should leave it at that. Pray for forgiveness and say 10 rosaries. Is there anything else?
Žertíky na Mosleyho.
I've done some pretty rotten things to my friend Mosley.
Rotten? What do you mean?
Practical jokes, insults, among other things.
I see. Are you sorry?
Well...
Pray for forgiveness and say 3 rosaries. Is there anything else?
Takže jsme udělali žertíky na Mosleyho, pak jsme začali vyspovídat, to je milé. Nebo řekněme šlachetné. Nezaplacená asistentka? To asi myslí tu z té první noci před začátkem téhle hry.
I haven't paid my assistant for 3 months.
Aha,
Have you had the money?
tak to je něco jiného.
Nope.
Sounds like a matter for the courts, Seth, not the church. Is there anything else?
Počkej, on je neplatí, nebo co? Sobecký člověk, to jsem, sukničkař, to jsem.
I've had a lot of women, Father.
A lot? More than 10?
Yes, Father.
More than 20?
Yes, Father.
More than 40?
Yes, Father.
Son, I don't think this is a matter for a priest. I think you need a good therapist.
If we're counting therapists, then I'm up to at least, let's see, count the 1. This might take a while.
My son, I'm afraid my lunch break is coming on about now. Pray for forgiveness and say 20 rosaries. On second thought, when you finish the math, say that many rosaries.
Gabriel hears him leave the confessional.
I should probably add 1 more rosary for that while I'm at it. I've been a bad boy.
Tak a my se tady teda vkrademe nečestně a naprosto hříšně do kněžské části zpovědnice.
I've always wondered how the other half lives.
Nemělo by se to, doma to nezkoušejte, nebo ve vašem obecním kostele to nezkoušejte, ale my jsme tady v kněžské části zpovědnice. Podíváme se tady do okna.
The mesh window on this side has a wooden door that slides open to let the priest hear confession.
Je tady bedínka, tam pravděpodobně budou nějaký ty keše.
There's a box under the shelf of the priest's confessional.
Jdem krást.
Inside the box, Gabriel finds a priest collar and some oil used for blessing. That oil is for holy purposes, not the sort of thing Gabriel would want to use it for. Inside the box, Gabriel finds a priest collar and some oil used for blessing.
You never know when a priest's collar will come in handy.
Gabriel can't use the collar while it's in the box. Inside the box, Gabriel...
You never know when a priest's collar will come in handy.
Jo, on si ho vzal, výborně. No, jako výborně moc ne, ale pro naše účely výborně. No a tím jsme tady skončili. Půjdeme na mapu. A poslední, co tady v tom partu ještě uděláme, pojedeme se podívat za paní Chauzaungsovou. To je ta paní, co byla předtím v tom obchodě Dixielandu. A adresu máme z naší lstivý metody, kdy jsme pomocí telefonního čísla do Verimexu vymámili číslo na paní Čazaunoxovou, nebo spíš adresu. Tak zkusíme tady zaťukat. Otevřenám, neotevřenám, otevřenám.
Yes, who is it?
To jsem já. Žralok obecný. Ale co jí zkusíme dát? Žralok obecný? Ne, prodavač zvířecích potřeb.
I've got some great pet supplies. Coochie coochie coo, little doggy.
Castro has everything he needs. Don't you, Castro?
Thanks a lot, Castro.
Madam nebyla úplně nakloněna tomuto způsobu jednání. Druhý pokus.
Yes, who is it?
To jsem já. Dáme. Můžeme si promluvit, madam.
Please let me talk to you, Madam Casino.
I do not talk to strangers, young man.
Je. To bude voříšek, ale zkusíme se nasadit kněžský rýmec. Počkej, to jsem udělal špatně, že? No, to zkusíme dát ještě žraloka.
Yes, who is it?
Žralok obecný.
Blanchard.
You are no Bill Murray.
No nic, jdeme na jistotu. To asi také nepůjde, ale zase ne. Takhle to půjde.
Can't say I've ever seen a priest in a t-shirt. I'll need something else to make this stay on.
Černé tričko.
This black shirt won't get me into Madame Casino's by itself.
Já už to
I'll
chápu.
have to dress it up a little.
Jasně, takhle se to tady totiž dělá. Musíme to spojit. Tak máme krásný převlek kazatele.
This disguise is almost ready. I hate to say it, but I need to style my hair to be more
Tak si je tam napatlej si tu židlo. Kde ho máme? Tady.
I don't think hair gel alone is going to convince her I'm
To
the
bude těžší.
reciprocal type.
Počkej, tak jakože bychom to zkusili spojit tady s tím ještě. Jo, teď to bude hotový. Výborně. No,
All right, but this is private.
je to private a my jdu na to. Nope. Jo, chlapče, tak by tě asi moc nechtěli, děvčata. Tak zaklepeme.
Yes, who is it?
Já jsem kněz. Otec Myklouklin.
It's Father McLaughlin to see you.
Father McLaughlin, you say?
Je.
You must be new in the parish. I'm so pleased to meet you, Father. Do come in.
Thank you, my child.
No. A jsme v baráku paní Čizauluxové.
Please be seated, Father.
Zbožná paní.
Thank you.
Now, what can I do for you?
No, pokecáme na témata.
Do you mind if I ask you a few questions, my child?
Of course not, mon père.
Tady ten rozhovor si necháme na příště, to je mega dlouhý, my máme 33 minut. Takže zase příště. Zase příště, zatím.